Hello there, good morning everybody, and welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with the series that I'm running for the month of November. This is day number 26, featuring a band that I liked in the time period when I first came out, and I've grown to appreciate their individual abilities more as the time's gone on. And this particular album, their fourth studio album, has had a fairly significant impact, at least lately, as this band has had more impact on me than they had previously as well. So the album is Eat to the Beat from the band Blondie. Album was released in September the 28th, 1979. There's like 12 tracks on this album. It's definitely one of those early Blondie albums. So to me, the first four Blondie albums are all kind of have some similarities between them. The next album, which is Auto-American, which came out after this one, begins a kind of a trend towards away from this a bit, and they do some different stuff on there, not necessarily rock, but that's where I kind of discovered that Deborah Harry's vocal range was quite a bit more than I had originally thought. So at this point in time, I thought Deborah Harry, when I was younger, I thought, okay, she's a pretty face. They put her on the cover just to sell albums. But in actual fact, she is a smart woman who not only is a pretty face, but also has a great vocal range and sounds really well. And she really delivers the frontal part to this band's image, I think, anyways. So for those of you who haven't watched this episode so far, basically I'm just naming my top 30 albums for the month of November for the year 1979, and this one is on day 26, Blondie's Eat to the Beat. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the tracks on the album. I do not have a physical copy of this album. I believe I owned it at one point, but I can't remember if I did or if that was actually my friend's. I can't remember. One or the other. Either he had it or I had it. I'm not sure which one of us had it. Anyways, it has the stellar track that was very radio friendly and well known, which is the song Dreaming. The funny part about Dreaming is, although it is like so many of other songs by Blondie, really catchy, really mainstream sounding and stuff like that, I don't really think it represents their music as a whole, you know. So for me, Blondie was a new wave band first and foremost, but also had some very strong punk elements to their music. I would say they leaned a little more towards punk than new wave, just my own personal opinion. And they did have other elements that had already started on this album, reggae elements, later some rap elements and stuff like that to their music as well. But so after the song Dreaming, they have Union City Blue, which was kind of a similar song in that it was a more mainstream song, but it tried to capture that element of working class, I think. Also, you got Eat to the Beat, and songs like Eat to Beat and Living in the Real World, which kind of really fast-paced, punky sound to them. And the thing about her and her image, even though she was a good-looking woman, she gave that kind of punky image. I think she had a very punky image to her, and because of that, it kind of really gave this band that punky feel to them. The other song on it that I wanted to talk a little bit about was Die Young, Stay Pretty. This was a kind of a different song for them to do. It was very kind of reggae-ish, actually, or calypso. There was a little bit of both elements here. You see it even in their video, and she's dressed to do that kind of image. So really an interesting album in their discography, I think. You know, it came right out after Parallel Lines, which was their big album. But I think it did it justice. I think this is a strong album for them. Definitely cemented them as a punk kind of new wave force at that time period. And an album I think deserves to be on this list for that reason, if no other reason. The fact that it's really catchy, that she has great vocal range, even on this album, and she portrays that image so well. You know, Chris Stein is also kind of a mastermind of this thing on this album. He's the one that produced it, so he engineered it in a way that gave it that flavor as well. And then you've got the drumming of Clem Burke, who I think is underrated. He doesn't get enough notoriety, but he's a fast, very, very, I don't know if he's technically good drummer, but he's definitely a fast playing drummer who knows where to put that fast beats in, and predominant too. So for me, the album Eat to the Beat is coming in on day 26th of my top 30 albums for the month of November, and I think it deserves to be on here. In actual fact, I think it could probably be a little bit higher too, but for today it's coming in here. So if you liked anything I've had to say, or you want to make any comments about the album, or you might put your own album down there, that'd be great. Or if you want to put your own list down there, that's fine too. There's lots of stuff that came out in 1979, and I won't be able to put it all on here, but there's a lot of albums that are deserving to be on this list too. So if you got any comments, put them below. Please hit that like button. It helps a lot. And subscribe. That also helps a lot. And we will be back tomorrow, day 25, for another album from my favorite albums for the month of November of 1979. Take care.